I played 100 hours of Nomad. Did you know that air jabs used to work on bullet holes? This was really far back in the day, but if you put an air jab on a bullet hole, it would trigger on the other side, so you would not be able to hear it, and people would not know where they get air jabbed from. That was a while back, and those are some secrets I learned during these 100 hours. Most attack rounds are lost to a flank, maybe someone swinging out a doorway, or also just an unstable attack in general. Nomad is more than just an opera that sits back and watches the flank while everyone else has fun. She's great for holding back aggressive defenders that can't disturb your setups, therefore being a big impact on a round no matter what. So you should be bringing Nomad if you're looking to improve your attacks. So let's go over when you should be bringing Nomad. If you're constantly worried about your back not being watched, or maybe a certain flank path mid-round, then Nomad is a great pick to stop those worries. But if the enemy team isn't flanking that much, I'd recommend you kind of just pick someone else like Zofia or Finka nowadays, because we all know how strong they are. It's not that Nomad you shouldn't like she has to be used for the flank, but I just think she doesn't have much of a purpose if she's not really being used for a flank. But just pick her at your choice. But if you're constantly getting ran out on, or maybe they're getting very aggressive and picking guys off one by one, and also just they're able to retake the very weak map control that you have, losing you the round, that's when you should be starting to bring Nomad. But what if you don't know exactly where you're being flanked from and you're kind of just dying to random stuff at times? If you don't really know where to put your air jabs, you're kind of new to Nomad, ask your teammates where do they need their flanks covered, or maybe what are some common flank rounds that defenders tend to do mid-round. So obviously this comes with playing the game and studying the bomb sites. So you should ask yourself, what are common habits that people, defenders tend to do? What are the common flank times? For example, like no one's really going to flank you in the first like 30 seconds to a minute of the round. They're most likely going to flank you when there's about like a minute left of the round, or maybe 30 seconds. But just kind of think of like what are some common doorways people tend to swing a lot, or maybe some common flank routes. But as you play the game over time, you'll learn. So let's go over why you should be bringing Nomad over other flank watch operators like Zero, Gridlock, or maybe even Lion. Now Nomad and Gridlock are more some passive flank watchers, versus as Zero and Lion are kind of more off of active information. They're all great, but I think Nomad fits the best in most lineups nowadays. So Nomad has flashbangs also, which you should be running most of the time over the breaching charges. This makes it so she can also contribute to the side setups as well, like helping the sledge or the Fanga clear shield, which makes her not completely useless, to the team. Now let's not forget that she has a very good AR, especially with a 2x and low recoil with high damage. Makes her a really good flank watch to get good kills with. But she has the option to use either the ARX or the AK, but I recommend the ARX mostly just because I think the 2x is very stable with their gun, and overall the AK just has a little bit low damage and fire rate. But it's all personal preference. I think you should run whatever you want. And also having a very tight hip fire spread, you're able to ADS a lot faster than other operators. And also 2x is also more helpful for holding those long angles than the 1.5. But what really makes Nomad stand out is that she is the map control of the game. She can block you off certain doorways and pressure you into certain rooms as her command. But you want to be careful with their air job placements. It's more than just slapping on the door, because defenders can also prone and get them very easily. For example, like if I were doing right here, what I could do here is just prone right here, and I could shoot the little light right here and easily destroy it without it going off. I know I'm doing it myself, but this is exactly what I do as a defender. Now, a lot of doors on most maps, this is kind of the downside of her, but it does make it a little tricky for them to be proning whether you can shoot them or not. So either I would put it as far above as you can, or I put them to the side where they kind of have to throw their cross replacement and struggle to get the jab off, and then eventually you can kill them. So I would only rely about 90% of the time that air jabs will actually watch your own flank, because people can always manage to impact them and run past them. And also you want to be careful if they do end up shooting them. You either want to listen for that gunshot, but it is one shot, so it's pretty quiet, so you always kind of want to keep that in the back of your head. Now let's hop onto other maps to show you these demonstrations in game. I'm going to do two maps. So I'm going to do the first one's going to do Coastline, and the second one I'm going to do a different map. But honestly, you could be if you're the entry of your team, I don't think you should run Nomad most of the time because of her positioning and gun. But you can also run her if you're like the flex of the team, maybe even like obviously the flank watcher. But she can kind of fit almost every role just because of her loadout and also her gun. So as a flank watcher, I would drone for my teammate going in. So like my Ash or the Athieno would go in first. So I would just drone her in, be like, hey, blah, blah, office is clear. All right, blue bar's clear. Just watch security, and then they would walk in, right? They would take the map control for me. So all I really have to do is go in here, and then set an air jab up. Like I said, you don't want to just put it like lightly like here. You kind of want, because obviously they can shoot it, but this one's a bit tougher because it's a little bit more of a cover on the doorway. So what you could do is just try to, you know, jab it off on the high end right there. So if they, even if they do try to go prone for it, it'll be a little bit harder to shoot. But like I said, you want to rely only like 90% of the time. Like I said, this is a very common spot to flank. So having an air jab there, or in even your own drone, this is very good protection for your flanks. Now, other air jabs, let's say the bomb site is above in hookah, right? So also what I would probably do is, remember your common runouts. What are some common runouts? So in case someone wants to repel in the big window, which I probably will be doing, want to put the air jab a little further up right here. That way, because you see how big the radius is, right? So you can kind of put them really far away so it's harder to shoot them, right? So let's say the last air jab. The last air jab would probably be another flank down here, or common, like I said, blocking up certain parts of the map control. So if everyone tried to come C4, they would have to get through past this air jab, wasting a lot of time for them, and also we would have drones on them. For example, let's say if we want to get a bomb down in Aqua, right? If I had an extra air jab, I would use the extra air jab on luggage. So remember, you don't have to always shoot a barricade down all the way. You can just do a little bit, just enough to get the air jab, and then boom, luggage is the flank is covered. Then if someone was planting here, remember, as Nomad, you are not really like, you know, the quote-unquote support, so you don't have to play passive all the time. You have a great gun, 2x. This is what you're meant to do. So, you know, if flanks are already being covered by dead teammates on cameras, then all you really need to do is either cover them like this, just cover the planter, or you're kind of the person in that solo role, you know. Your utility's already done, right? You don't have any Gone 6 to clear. You don't have any smoke grenades. What, you are a gun now. You use all of your utility. All of it's gone. Like I said, you already used it all. Now you're on the big window, because if you die on here, you've done your job already. So just, you know, watch the runouts, cover people. So this is kind of like the position of Nomad. You're flexible, but you're very important throughout the round. All right, so we're on the second map of we're on Cafe now, and I want to show you guys a hold that I used to do when I was in the league. This was really good. So first, what we would do is get on this window. Now the thing was, this is kind of when they were on the reading bomb site, but I also want to show you guys just kind of how I use my utility. So I would start by opening up a lot of the windows for pressure. And my teammates would help me get up here, by the way, before they would attack the, like, you know, reading downstairs. What my job was to stay up here by myself and to make sure no one flanked on top. So what they would do, you know, they would open up the hatch, all that kind of stuff. I'd be on the windows. Now your drones are basically you were able to watch a flank without risking your life. Your drones are kind of like your eyes, you know. This is what makes Nomad really fun at times, and watching the flank is because you're basically like on defense, and they're trying to attack you. So once I've already got the map control, like I said, you don't want them to get past this one, make it a little bit hard for them to get. The other air jab that I would do is, after I get up here, I would put it on this lamp. You know, get creative with their air jabs. They don't always have to be on doorways. And the last one would probably go on the very top of the doorway right here. I would have a rotate right here, right? And then I would use my last drone. So let's say they're busy attacking downstairs, and my job again was to make sure nobody swung this balcony, and also swung into my to this hatcher here. So that was my goal. My goal was to watch that. So what I would do is I would sit in a very unexpected spot. I would sit behind this chair, behind this cover, right? If there was no holes, obviously. So what I would do is I would put my cam in a very sneaky spot, like up here. And then the other one would probably be like right here. Like, it doesn't have to be the most, but it's enough information to see if anyone is, like, if they're over here, they're trying to flank me. So if I see a foot move, or if I see anyone start to creep out this long bar on me, then I have all my air jabs and I have the flank on him, and I can just pre-farm like this. So you see how I'm already in a position to kill the person. I'm not only trying to know someone is flanking, but I can be in the position. I think the big mistake is people see, oh, he's flanking here, but they're in no position to kill him. They get away with it. So you have to understand, you are not as important as a heart breacher at times, but you know, you winning your gunfight as a flank watcher is very important. So, you know, you want to be active, doing all this kind of stuff, and kind of pay attention to your team as well. But in ranked, this is just as kind of an example of how to use your air jabs for, I guess you guys can see, I'm only controlling minimum. I'm not trying to control like a lot. But I'm also using my drones, you know. Okay, I'm able to get a lot of information and act off of more accordingly and more smarter. Your flank is more than just air jabs. You have flashbangs, you have the 2x, you have your drones, callouts, teammates. Everything that happens is information to you to make your flank watch better, or even just any whatever map control you want. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this kind of helped you a little bit with your flank watch and passing my information to you guys. Let me know what map you love playing Nomad on, because she's really fun. And if you guys want to see me use her live on stream, which I probably will be doing more, be sure to check out my Twitch channel where I stream every single day around the afternoons to the evenings. But leave a like if this video did help you, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.